A $2 plastic clip on your brake caliper is currently protected by a $600 software lockout, not because the clip is complicated, because the software that tells the system you replaced it belongs to the dealer. You did not buy a car. You bought a digital hostage situation. In 1985, the average home mechanic could fix 80% of what went wrong with their car using tools from a hardware store and a manual from the parts shop. Today, that number is closer to 30%. The gap between those two figures is not progress, it is a business model. A timing belt on a 1990 Honda costs $14 in parts and 2 hours on a driveway. The same job on a 2020 Honda requires removing the front subframe, 4 hours of dealer labor at $160 per hour. The car did not get more complicated because the engine needed it. Complexity is profitable. This video covers 3 things. First, what manufacturers physically changed to lock out the home mechanic. Second, the software barrier they built on top of that, the one that charges independent shops for access they used to have free. Third, the lobbying operation running quietly in state capitals right now to make sure it stays this way. Stay through to the end. The third part is the one the manufacturers paid the most money to suppress. Stop the video after this section. Go to your glove box and check your service manual for the phrase "sealed for life." If those 3 words appear anywhere in your transmission or differential section, the manufacturer has already decided when your vehicle will require an expensive repair. Drop your mileage and make in the comments. We want to map exactly where the failure window falls. Here is what they changed in the hardware. Every car built before roughly 1995 used standard connectors and components a human being could reasonably reach. The alternator on a 1988 Ford pickup takes 20 minutes to reach with a standard ratchet set. The alternator on a 2019 Ford Escape requires removing the front passenger wheel, the wheel arch liner, and 3 separate brackets before you can touch a single bolt. The engineers moved it behind the subframe and called it packaging. It is not packaging. It is a billable hour strategy. Complexity is the invoice. Coolant systems on modern vehicles use proprietary blends that void the warranty if you use a compatible alternative. Transmission fluid is the same. Even oil filters on several current models require a manufacturer tool to remove. These are not engineering requirements. They are access requirements. The technology to build these systems with standard interfaces exists. The decision not to is deliberate. The sealed component trap is where the real money is. Sealed transmissions marketed as lifetime fill. No dipstick, no drain plug accessible without a lift, no service interval on the schedule. The manufacturer defines lifetime as the warranty period. After that, you are on your own. Independent transmission shops see these units coming in at 90,000 miles with burnt fluid the color of charcoal. The burnt fluid is not a maintenance issue. It is a death sentence for the transmission. The service was designed out of the vehicle on purpose. The failure, starting at $3,500, is designed back in when the warranty expires. But making the alternator impossible to reach was only the first step. The real reason your local mechanic is losing work to the dealer is a lobbying operation currently running in your state capital right now. I will show you the alliance payoff in 5 minutes. First, the hardware. In 1996, every vehicle sold in the United States was required to carry a standardized diagnostic port so any mechanic could read fault codes from any vehicle. A genuine consumer protection. It lasted about 10 years before the manufacturers built a toll booth on top of it. By 2008, most had implemented enhanced diagnostic layers above the standard port, layers requiring proprietary tools. By 2015, transmission calibration, sensor alignment, and key programming required dealer-level software-independent shops could not legally purchase. The port was still there. The access was gone. A brake caliper replacement on a modern vehicle with an electronic parking brake used to end with bleeding the system and pumping the pedal. Now it ends differently. The mechanic finishes the physical job, connects his scanner, and the software refuses to complete the reset. The motor that retracts the parking brake piston will not move until the system receives a digital handshake from an authorized tool. You can hear the motor trying. A small whirring from the caliper, then silence. The independent shop does not have the digital handshake. His scanner is not on the approved list. He cannot finish the job. You call the dealer. $140 for the software reset. The part cost $4. The handshake cost $140. The average dealer labor rate in the United States is now between $130 and $170 per hour. An independent shop charges between $80 and $110. The software barrier does not exist because dealers do better work. It exists because it routes the vehicle back to the most expensive option available. But a $140 handshake is a small-time scam. The real money is being made in the dark, using your own safety as a legal hostage. I will show you the Alliance heist in 60 seconds. Quick question. How many of you have taken a car to the dealer for a repair that your local independent shop turned away because they did not have the software access? Drop your make and model in the comments. We want to see which manufacturers are doing this most aggressively. But the hardware and software barriers are the visible part of this operation. What the manufacturers have been funding quietly, in legislative offices from Sacramento to Tallahassee, is the part you were never supposed to find out about. The Motor Vehicle Owners' Right to Repair Act passed in Massachusetts in 2012. It required manufacturers to give independent shops and owners the same diagnostic access as dealers. The manufacturers immediately funded a campaign to gut it. The Alliance for Automotive Innovation, the lobbying group backed by nearly every major vehicle manufacturer, has spent documented millions opposing right-to-repair legislation across the country. Not technical grounds, revenue grounds. The argument they make publicly is cybersecurity. Access to vehicle software creates a vulnerability. This is technically true and the most effective Trojan horse the automotive lobby has ever deployed. The manufacturers did not write their lobbying briefs out of concern for your network security. They wrote them because independent shops complete the same repairs for 40% less. They are gaming the law. Security is the alibi. The firewall was built to keep you out, not hackers. A Mercedes dealer charges $430 to calibrate the front radar sensor after a windshield replacement. The shop that replaced the windshield for $240 cannot legally perform the calibration in several states. The calibration does not require skill. It requires a server authorization, a code sent from the manufacturer's system confirming you are an approved party. You are not paying for labor, you are paying for permission. Here is the only weapon left. The dealer's software model wants you blind. The scanner is your eyes. Buy the site. A professional-level diagnostic unit from Autel, Launch, or ThinkCar in the $200 to $400 range covers enhanced diagnostics on most makes and handles many of the calibration resets dealers charge for. These tools exist in a legal gray zone that has not yet been closed. Buy now. The window is closing. Service items not yet software-gated include air filters, brake pads on most models, spark plugs on naturally aspirated engines, battery replacements on vehicles without battery management systems, and fluid changes where service points are accessible. These jobs still belong to the owner. Several $100s a year in labor that does not have to go to the dealer. 2012 is the border of the digital moat, the year the lockout became standard. Before that year, most brands had not fully implemented the proprietary tool requirements that locked out independent service. Every year past that line, another system crossed over. Vehicles from before 2012 are increasingly valuable precisely because they have not crossed it. The market is beginning to reflect that. Ask an independent mechanic directly. He is watching his business narrow year by year. He has the wrench. He has the experience. He does not have the login. Jobs completed profitably in 2010 he now refers to dealers. The access was deliberately taken from him. The $230 labor rate is the direct financial result. Stop treating the diagnostic fee as a normal cost of ownership. It is a toll and nothing more. Stop accepting the cybersecurity alibi. Every time a manufacturer uses safety language to protect a revenue stream, it is the Trojan horse running. Stop calculating repair costs without asking why the independent shop is legally blocked from the same job. The answer is never engineering. Start owning the engineering. Buy the scanner. Know the border year. Find the mechanic who still has access before the window closes entirely. You paid for the car. You own it. The right to repair what you own should not require a server authorization from the manufacturer. That is not a service. That is a levy. Full stop. If this video gave you something the dealer network would rather you did not know, press the like button and subscribe. The next video covers the legal document that cancels your warranty. and why the extended coverage you paid for was written by lawyers who decided in advance which failures it would never touch. That document is in your glove box right now. You will want to know what is actually in it.